hold up. Stop what you're doing right now. Before y'all continue the context, you already know, take some time right now, subscribe to this channel, you get what I'm saying? And once you subscribe, click that notification bell so you can get that notification so you know when I'm here, because I'm here, you feel me? And for y'all who also want to help support your boy, you know what I mean, support the cause, all you got to do is click in the description box below. There's 2 links. One link for if you want to donate monthly, you want to set it and forget it, you know what I'm saying, for a minimum of at least $2 a month. You could do more if you would like. Or if y'all want to do a one-time donation, there's another link. That's a PayPal link below. You know what I'm saying? You click that and you can donate as much as you want. You already know every single dollar is important. Every single dollar is appreciated. I appreciate y'all. Now, go right back into that context. It's True Talks, because True Talks. Stay tuned, boy. What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks. And we back in the building, you feel me? It's True Talks, because True Talks, all right? Let's get straight right into it. So you already know today is definitely the opening day of the playoffs, the 2020 NBA playoffs. You already know, man. We out here. There's no doubt here and there's no drought here. So let's go straight into that context. Because I give it that context, all right? So you already know, definitely, like I said all the time, it's just what elite looks like. And we're finally going to get to see what elite looks like. So we have the Western Conference playoffs. Definitely the playoffs in total, in general, for the NBA is going to start today, starting at 1:30. But again, it's going to be 2 games of the East and 2 games of the West every single day. And then when they shorten the rounds, it's gonna, it's gonna change, moving so forth and so on, right? So you already know the Raptors are in the East and they play today. And again, we're gonna, if you haven't seen my predictions, my breakdown, and basically my IQ, because that's what I do about the Eastern Conference with the playoffs and everything like that, definitely go check it out. Go click on my previous video and it should have uploaded earlier today. So now when we come to the Western Conference, you get what I'm saying, at the end of the day, like I said, just what elite looks like. So the first round predictions, we're going to start with the first one that we have here. And that's the Nuggets and the Jazz. The Nuggets are the 3 seed, the 3rd seed, and the Jazz are the 6th seed. And basically, you already know it's a battle between, Jokic and Rudy Gobert and what's it called? Donovan Mitchell. And you have Jamal Murray in them, you know what I'm saying? Then you have Michael Porter Jr. on the Nuggets. We'll see how his minutes are going to look like, because that's definitely something to, keep an eye on when it comes to that. And then obviously on the Jazz, they don't have Bogdanovic. You know what I'm saying? They don't have him at all. So that's definitely going to hinder them to a certain extent. But they have Mike Conley, they have Donovan Mitchell, and etc. So they do have a strong, a little bit of a core there that they have with the Jazz. This is actually a solid matchup. It could actually go either way. This one, I do anticipate it going probably 7 games. I'll be surprised if it goes anything less than 6-7. I do have it 7 games. And I would put, this one's tough, man. When like the Western Conference, all the brackets is not in, other than, certain ones, it's not really clear cut. Like it go either way. Like this is what I like about the bubble. And this is what I like about this situation, especially when Kawhi brought New Balance to the league. Like everybody has a fair shot. Everybody has a fair shot. Now you take away the home and the away. Everybody has literally a fair shot, especially when it comes to the West. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at it, I have to think like Donovan Mitchell, again, he's the carrier of his team, and them not having Bogdanovic, like I would be surprised if they were to beat the Nuggets because just of the, just the scoring sometimes. Like if they could key in on Donovan, obviously Conley would have to step up and all that type of stuff, but it's just the way the top 2 scores was Bogdanovic and Donovan Mitchell. You take one away, it's hard for that team to still overcome and go far and have a deep playoff run without that. So if I had to, take my chances, I would take the Nuggets in a 6-7 game series. Now, if I had to bet on it, like I said, I would take the Nuggets in 7. Now, when it comes on the Nuggets side, this is something like I was saying to watch out for. Michael Porter Jr. Is he going to be straight into starting at the 3? And is Barton going to go to the bench and play the 6-man role? Or are you going to reverse it and shorten Michael Porter Jr.'s minutes? Because Michael Porter Jr., since the restart, and even before when they give him good minutes, like 25 plus minutes, he actually eats. And then when he gets starter minutes, 30 plus minutes, you've seen what he's been averaging and how he's been snapping any rebounds. You know what I mean? And he plays well with Jokic. So it's just like the Nuggets, this is their time to show people that like we are that. Now, again, the last matchup that we fully seen, especially when they were in the bubble, was the Jazz took it with Gobert hitting some free throws. And basically, like, it's gonna be like that's what I expect for this team, like for this matchup. I expect back and forth. You know, we go on a run, and like they're literally close caliber type of teams, but the Nuggets have more pieces. But again, it just depends on how Mike Malone is gonna actually use this team. You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna let Michael Porter Jr. eat? You know, Jamal Murray, is he gonna step into that next echelon? You know what I mean? There's a lot of questions and things that we have there. But when I look at it, if Mike Malone literally frees up Michael Porter, I think he should be starting, and Will Barton should come off the bench as a 6-man. But if he frees him up, then I think they'll win in 6. But again, I don't know. Like the way some of these coaches sometimes be moving, like it's like one day they free this guy up, then one day they don't, and all the type of stuff. So if I put my bet on it, I'm just gonna go with the Nuggets in 7. I'll go with the Nuggets in 7. Now, this does not mean Donovan Mitchell's a scrub or anything like that, or he should have overcame. And you know, it comes down to the wire. He could snap and go in his bag because you already know what Donovan Mitchell does and when it's that time. But it's just. But Bogdanovic just being a loss is just crucial. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's what I have at Nuggets in 7 if I had to pick it. Now when we go to the next matchup that we have here, we have the Rockets and the Thunder, and this one should be a battle as well too. This just the irony, man. You have TJ Warren versus Jimmy Butler in the East, like I said in my previous video, and then it's just crazy how the gods, the basketball gods, as they will say, kind of just lay it out. You know what I'm saying? Like literally a year ago, they say the Thunder is gonna be Fugazi, they're Westbrook and Paul George, they get traded, and then the Thunder literally is like they're supposed to be a lottery type of team. Not even supposed to be sniffing or even close near the playoffs. The Pelicans should get in before them. But Chris Paul, and not only that, the narrative was Chris Paul is not that guy anymore. He was the reason they lost. You know what I mean? His contract is a bad contract. All this type of stuff. Why would you pay an agent star that money? Etc. 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 Then look what he does. Oh, Chris Paul's not a great leader. He's bad in Clippers. He's bad here. Wherever he goes, they're contenders. He elevates. That's what he does. He elevates. My goodness, what are you talking about? Now he's there with Shea and Gallinari and Steven Adams and all them boys. You have Schroeder off the bench. Like, they're just potent, man. And then they still have solid defense. Now Roberson is back off the bench, could lock up. You know what I'm saying? Loki, he could start too. They still have that, what's his name? Dort. They have Dort, who plays solid defense, could shoot the 1-2. They have solid pieces, man. They have solid pieces. So again, like, the issue now when you look on the Rockets side, and again, now it's basically Chris Paul versus James Harden. You have Westbrook facing his old team, right? But the issue that this happened is the hamstring issue. Is the irony. Chris Paul was the one who sat down for the hamstring injury when he faced the Golden State Warriors when he was going to work when James Harden wasn't doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Versus Golden State when they went to 7 games a couple years ago. And then now look, you have Westbrook has the same type of hamstring injury when he's facing Chris Paul. And look who's the one who's healthy. It's Chris Paul. But then again, you don't know. Westbrook being out, the Houston Rockets do small ball, and the small ball perfectly fit Russell Westbrook because he could go downhill. If you help, he could kick out. And he literally has all shooters and he has nobody to clog the lane. He could just turbo. He could just run down the court. You can blow by, you know why. But now you take away the Westbrook factor. Are they going to switch up their small ball and put Tyson Chandler in there to set screens and be the Capella version? Because James Harden literally is good with the screen and roll. He's good with it. He doesn't need, 5 out type of game. And I know they're still going to do same pick to switch with PJ Tucker and all that type of stuff. But it's just, I don't know. They're probably going to still stay small ball. But this is the one time they could actually switch back because now you have no Westbrook dynamic. I don't know how they're going to move. I don't know if Mike D'Antoni's going to adjust to what he has at hand. I don't know if they had Westbrook. And I also don't know how long Westbrook's going to be injured for. So if they do have Westbrook, I would say the Rockets would win in 7 games. You know what I'm saying? Because just Westbrook running downhill and just the unlimited type of offense. But again, like Thunder has solid defense, and then they also have great offense as well too. But if I had to put my money on the line, I would say that I would go more so with the Rockets. Just Westbrook running downhill is basically unguardable. It will force Adams to kind of guard him as a big, and it's just too many mismatches that that he creates. But if Westbrook's not healthy, I'm low-key leaning towards the Thunder, man. I'm leaning towards the Thunder in 7 games, man. I'm leaning towards the Thunder in 7 games. Actually, if Westbrook is not healthy, it could be the Thunder in 6. And the reason for my pick for that is because, like I said, James Harden, yes, again, he's been a regular season type of MVP for how many years? It's reckless. And the stuff that he's doing is he's only done that what Jordan and some of these guys have done. Like he's tapped into that Kobe echelon, like the 34, 35 points per game. Like just reckless. You know what I'm saying? And when you think of it, he gets disrespected, obviously. But then again, when it comes to Harden, when it comes to the playoffs times, you know that his palms sometimes be sweaty. Now, there is games where he does have 30 something, whatever, but either his percentages is way down from what already is in the regular season, or his points is way down from what already is in the regular season. So he does come up short a lot of the times, and he be bricking and all that type of stuff. So what type of Harden's going to snap and he's going to go into the echelon? Now, again, you have that bubble. Is he going to get enhanced? If James Harden is moving like regular season James Harden, the Rockets win this series. That's what it's going to come down to. Because again, their shots, they'll always be hidden or inconsistent. But James Harden being on that, especially now that no Westbrook, he can't live on that sometimes 20 stuff. He has to get 30 to 40 every game. Especially when you don't have defenders and you're undersized. You get what I'm saying? You do have defenders, sorry, but when I'm saying you're undersized, you're not like, oh, we're getting bare offensive rebounds. You're already at a disadvantage. So he has to snap. Now, if he doesn't, if I have to put my money on the line, I go off what I see. You have to show me. I don't give you the benefit of the doubt. You have to show me. You know what I'm saying? You have to earn it. You have to earn it. Like they say, earn it. Earn it. Hit a shot. Make me contest. Earn it. Earn my respect. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to Harden, obviously I have my respect like I'm not like these other guys that be roasting him to that extent. But for when I'm talking about him in the Kobe, the echelons he's already put into and he's already tapped into by being that guy in the regular season, I expect that. And that's the echelon I'm comparing you to and I'm rating you and scaling you to when it comes to the actual postseason. So those guys, most of the times, they either keep their same points per game average or in that ballpark, or they advance it and go higher. So Harden hasn't been doing that. So that's what I'm rating him to those guys, because that's the echelon he actually deserved to be talked about and be in that discussion, in that realm. So when it comes to that, that's what I'm scaling him to. So again, I just haven't seen him show up. So if I had to put my money on the line for who I predict is going to win, I will. If they have no Westbrook, I'm taking the Thunder in 6 or 7, most likely 6. And if Westbrook comes back, let's say 3rd game or whatever, I'm taking the Rockets in 7 because OKC can sneak on 1-2 early when Westbrook is out. So that's how I have it for that series. Now we go to the next series and we have the Clippers and the Mavericks. And definitely, this is a 2-7 series. Clippers are the 2nd seed, the 2 seed, and Mavericks are the 7th seed. And when you look at it from that perspective, at the end of the day, like I try to tell y'all, like Luka is that guy. Luka, definitely, like he's an MVP type of candidate. I hope he doesn't win MIP because, again, that's just disrespectful. He shouldn't even be in that discussion. Remember when I told y'all before, when I said he's going to feel like it's disrespectful? You even seen him say, yo, Brandon Ingram or Devontae Graham, they got it. Yo, I shouldn't I'd rather them take it. Because you already know, he sees it like, really? MIP? But anyways, that's a different discussion. So when you have him and then Porzingis in the bubble's been eating and looking right, and Porzingis can cause problems for traditional type of guard the paint type of bigs. We've seen how Nurkic and the guys with Portland struggle to guard him. Everybody in the bubble has struggled to guard him because normally when you have that kind of length and that kind of size, most bigs go to the block, go and like try to bully and try to cause a mismatch. Oh, let me just use my body. But Porzingis literally just plays with the flow. He's going to pick, he's going to pop, even if it's a baby on him. He's going to pick and a pop as offense because it helps Luka. Luka's the one who wants to attack off the screen. So if he attacks off the screen, the fact that Porzingis would pop and shoot it well and shoot it elite from deep, oh my God, swept him off his feet. That type of popping, you know what I'm saying? Basically, the Mavericks are that type of popping, you know what I'm saying? Because of that. So it just makes their offense go to a whole new dynamic. I don't need to go to the paint always. Now, if there's a child on me or a toddler, Gerber, you got to serve her applesauce, I can go to the paint, you know what I'm saying? And go to the block and do a 1-2 turnaround at 7-2, 7-3, whatever he is. So that's just elite at the end of the day. So that could cause a problem for, like, let's say the Joakim Noahs, the Montrezl Harrells, the Zubats, you know what I'm saying, when they pick and pop. And you'll see that's going to be a reoccurring theme when it comes to the Clippers and the Mavericks. And I expect Porzingis to try and do well. But at the end of the day, the Mavericks do struggle a lot on defense. You've seen all the games they've been playing is high 130. Like, their defense is actually not elite. Their offense is potent. So, again, the Clippers, they've struggled with the Clippers because the Clippers have, that's what I tell people. When you have good wing defenders and perimeter defense, like even if man scoring the paint here and there, if I have good perimeter defense and I basically stop you from going into the paint, that's just what elite looks like. And it's just going to be struggle. Their perimeter, that's why I told people coming in even to the season off the trade with Paul George and Kawhi, a free agency, like, it's just you have two elite wing defenders and you add Beverly to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just three guys. Switchability is elite. You know what I'm saying? And then still you have Marcus Morris, who's now tuning up. He's been playing good at the 4. He's been playing better, hitting his shots, playing solid defense. You know what I'm saying? And then you still got Zubats at the 5. You got Lou Will and Trez off the bench. Lou Will came back to the bubble and he's good. And he's been playing on 1-2 and he's been hitting, you know, and snapping it here and there. Then you still have Paul George snapping to this new echelon with the shoulders. Then you still got Kawhi, who's obviously a Don. Then you still got Montrez, who finally came back. And, you know, rest in peace and prayers to Montrez and his family, you know what I'm saying, for his loss. But at the end of the day, he came back and now he's looking for a resurgence. We see how Nurkic played with a resurgence, you know what I'm saying, with a, you know, with a extra battery in the back, you know what I'm saying? That's that type of, you know, that type of gear and that type of motivation and that type of motor he can tap into. So it's just, you know, when I look at it, there's just too many weapons for the Clippers. Their defense is elite. They've always struggled with the Clippers this whole season. So I expect it to be the same. I'll be surprised if it goes to like 6 games. I think it'll be a 5-game gentleman sweep. I don't think they'll sweep them 4-0 because the Mavericks is just, they could just get hot. But I think it'll be 5 games. I wouldn't be surprised if they sweep them though. But I think it'll be a 5 games. I have to put my money on the line for the Clippers. And that's just what elite looks like. And it's funny. It's just at the end of the day, people roast the Lakers and the Clippers, old management, and this and this. Oh, they're gonna have a tough round matchup. They're gonna be out. They might make it, not make it to the conference. And then now look, watch the Clippers handle business, and then on the other side, perfect segue, not handle the business and take it later and later and later. So the next matchup, the final matchup for the Western Conference first round playoffs in 2020 is going to be the Lakers and the Blazers. We've seen how the Blazers they just got in through the play-in. They're at the 8th seed. They literally were the 9th seed coming into the bubble and out of the 8th seed. They went 8-2 during that stretch. You have Dame Dollars just going to work with the bubble MVP, just snapping. You better ask him. My God, don't relax, King. My goodness, man, what are they talking about? And when I tell y'all something, that team, now don't get it twisted, their defense is atrocious when it comes to the Blazers. It's straight anus. They don't do second and third and fourth efforts. But at the end of the day, like, look how difficult. Do you understand what the Blazers done? It's hella difficult. Most teams, when they are, like I've been saying, again, follow my IG, click that links in the below to go see like what I be talking about in real time on Twitter and IG. But links is what I posted on IG too. Like, you gotta understand the fact that the Blazers, most teams, they literally have to get a 1-2 stop, or they get stops in the clutch. whether it's 1, 2, or maybe 3, whatever the case is. And even if they do miss here and there in their closing, they only need one big bucket. And then that's kind of like, good riddance, we closed. You've seen that with the Lakers sometimes. They get a 1-2 stop or whatever the case is, and then they don't really have elite closing, but they just make that one shot, the Kuzma or this or that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the Blazers have no defense, and the fact that they have no defense, they goes through the net, just inbound real quick, and then they come down and they score after score after score after score, with the pressure rising and rising and rising as the buckets increase, or the possessions go deeper and deeper and deeper down into the game. You know what I'm saying? You go from like they get a clutch bucket in 5 minutes. Oh my goodness, now they're up 1, and then because they have no defense, now the guy hits a 3. They're down 2. Like they always are like get a bucket, downhill, get a bucket, downhill. They're always constantly doing that. So that means you have to have elite closing, because most teams, like I said, their closing is just a 1-2. But the fact that your closing is not even closing, like you're beyond closing, like is like you have to close, and then even while you're closing, you still have to tap into a net. Like you hit a shot that would seem as the dagger, and because your defense is so fugazi, they now score. You have to erase what you just did elite and then get another one. And then now your defense is fugazi, they get a bucket, you have to get another one, and you're always constantly, go uphill battle. And the fact that they still went 8-2 with that reality shows you how elite closing this team actually is. And the reason why is because of 3 closers. You have Dame, you have CJ, and you have Melo, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And then you still have Gary Trent Jr. And then you still have Nurkic, who could play make, and you hit him in the pocket passes, etc. And when I tell you when it comes to the Blazers, this is why I said they've been disrespecting Dame for a long time. Dame had Aminu and Harkless at the 3 and the 4. So now when you trap Dame, obviously, you don't help and trap him off CJ. You stay on CJ, you trap Dame. He's forced to pass either Aminu or Harkless. They can't play make, they can't hit shots, and it just brick. So then to the naked eye, Damian Lillard shooting low percentages. He's doing this. He's doing X, Y, and Z. Because why? Dame's like, I'm not going to keep passing to these guys when they're not doing nothing. Now I have to create. And there's hella double teams, and it's more effective because they don't even go back, nothing. And then now he's shooting atrocious percentages because of this reality. And you've seen the last games, how Dame was snapping. What did they do? A lot of the fourth quarters, like Skip has been roasting him for, he hasn't scored from like 7 minutes, 6 minutes. He will score 0 points. But he gets all the assists. Why? Because he's snapping so recklessly that they trap him from literally before half court, which I've never seen. They double this man from like 3/4 court. He's coming up the court. You sleep, logo Lillard. You know what I'm saying? Bucket. They double him from Egypt. What does he do? He makes a pass to Trent. And because he has shooters, Trent can shoot. Melo at the 4 can shoot. Only one is not Nurkic, but Nurkic will roll to the free throw line, pocket pass, makes the play. But Trent can shoot, CJ can shoot, and Melo can shoot. That's 3 guys that can shoot. So when you double him, he literally doesn't have to score. Down the stretch, he does not even have to score, which is the luxury he never has had ever. So that's why it's been such even more potent closing, because of the play style and the combination of talent and the combination of just the fit of what's around him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I try to tell people all the time and educate people about deep level thinking, deep level IQ, deep level context. You know what I'm saying? So now when you look at that and you look at the Lakers on the other hand, they just abuse paint. Majority of their buckets are paint. They have 2 bigs that they play. You know what I'm saying? And then they have AD, right? And then LeBron be bullying in the paint. Their perimeter shooting is atrocious. It's actually atrocious. So you got to look at it from this perspective. The Blazers don't have fugazi defense, and other than Ja Morant's blow by, you know why? Most of the teams that's been scoring against them have been shooting, because again, they'll set the pick or whatever, and then one man rotates, and they're just the second and third, or the second, third, fourth, fifth rotation is where the Blazers struggle. They don't have effort like that. It's not even like they can't play defense. They don't have effort like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they get beaten and they just be watching. So now when you look at it, the Lakers, they majority paint. So if you force them to shoot, and they've been atrocious in this bubble shooting, and if they keep missing shots while the Blazers are eating, even guys who have elite perimeter defense, they're still eating. Even the Clippers, they still eat. They're still eating versus whoever they play. They're eating offensively. And they have 2 dogs at the perimeter. And you know how the Lakers lack perimeter defense, especially since Avery Bradley's gone. This is very scary. This could, bro, this is something brewing. This could be an upset. This could be an upset if the Lakers, obviously I'm not saying the Lakers again are still the favorites, all these type of things, but the way they're going into the playoffs playing, it's rare that you see teams tap into that and turn it around. Not only that, you remove hindsight, most people in most situations, even if I'm going into the playoffs atrocious, I still have home court advantage. Now the crowd ron and booing and all this type of things can affect the role players of the Blazers or the role players of this, or maybe CJ1-2 is the psyche. It's just different atmosphere. So sometimes you might be off or whatever. There's none of that. There's none of that. It's a bubble, which is why you get true actual basketball. You don't get guys hindered because their mentality is sometimes fugazi, and then the crowd gives that extra life into the players and X, Y, and Z, and all these little factors that matter to the game that boost and creates an advantage for another team. You remove the advantage, so it's literally just Arsenal versus Arsenal, it's team versus team, no advantage. This is scary. This is something that I know the Lakers, obviously deep down, they didn't want to face the Blazers. A lot of Lakers fans, they don't want to touch the Blazers. You have a guy who's this hot coming in. CJ, even with his back injury, I hope it doesn't get any worse. You know what I'm saying? But CJ with his back injury, Nurk with extra battery in his back as well too, with the passing of his grandmother. Rest in peace and prayers out to him and his family. And then also as well too, you just have all these other factors. Melo's trying to make a resurgence. You know what I'm saying? And you see what he's doing. Gary Trent's making a name for himself and all these type of things. The bad thing for the Blazers is the defense. But again, even with bad defense, the Lakers have been struggling scoring. The difference is LeBron could actually eat because they don't have wing defenders. And this is where the Blazers are definitely going to miss Ariza. The Blazers will definitely miss Ariza when it comes to this. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you just look at it from a team versus team perspective, the things that you do great here is you guys don't shoot well, but you guys eat the paint. And even if you eat the paint, it's 2s. While on this hand, they shoot well. Their offense is potent. Literally, they can go shot for shot with you. They've been scoring 130s all the time. And you have Damian Lillard eating. And it's like anything can happen. So when I look at it from that perspective, I just want to see how Terry Stotts is going to force the Lakers to just shoot. I hope he doesn't do, oh, you know what, overreact, play LeBron tight and all this type of stuff. Go under all the screens. Do like what you did to Ja Morant in the first half. Not the second half shit where you guys played lazy. But do what you did to Ja Morant in the first half. Go under all his screens. You know what I'm saying? Make him shoot. Make every man shoot. Contest the other shooters, whatever. And then, make them don't force the paint. And the good thing about the Blazers is that they actually have 2 bigs. If they want to do that JaVale McGee and AD lineup, they could go ahead and put Whiteside and Nurkic if they want to. They could put they have Collins and Nurkic. You know what I'm saying? They have basically 4 players that could play the 4-5. You have Collins, Nurkic, Whiteside, and Melo. Those 3 could play the 4 and the 5. Those 4 could play the 4 and the 5 alternate. So we'll see how that goes. Now, at the end of the day, like I said, I think that the Lakers will still win this series because it's just for me to believe that an A seed will upseed the first seed. Now, I want the Blazers to beat the Lakers. You already know that's what I want. I know I want Dame to shut everybody up and all this type of stuff, but it's just I have to take away my heart and my wants away from what the IQ is saying. The IQ is telling me that it's going to be a tough series regardless, 6 or 7 games. If it's a 5-game series, I'll be surprised. This should be a 6-7 game series, and I think the Lakers will win in 6. If it goes 7 games, I think the Blazers win. That's just me, because you've seen them in do or die games. You've seen how they be reacted. They better hope that it doesn't go 7 games. If it goes 7 games, the Blazers, I think, will win. If it goes 6 games, the Lakers will win. That's how I'm putting it. But at the end of the day, my heart and everything in my body is telling me Blazers are going to come out and pull it out. But then again, I have to come back to reality. I have to come back and just look at what I'm seeing. LeBron, he hasn't been looking good in this bubble. Only a 1-2 game he did. But at the end of the day, now that it's playoffs, the fact that it's playoffs gives you an extra battery and everyone's back. Intensity is there and all this type of stuff. And it's just when mans get a dunk, there's no crowd booing, or there's no crowd amping up the energy and all this. Like when mans get a dunk, it's literally next play, shoot a trade ball from deep, splash. Like the whole fan interaction and impact on certain momentum plays doesn't do nothing. The biggest momentum plays have been the Arsenal plays. 3, 3, 3, like CJ when he cooked him John Morant. Bucket momentum. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a dunk. Like dunks literally just dunk drop back. Like it's just about Arsenal. This game has showed you Arsenal. That's why the bubble has been so elite, and I'm amped at the end of the day. Like, so again, I hope the Blazers win, but my mindset and my IQ is telling me that the Lakers will win in 6. But it's just, bro, you're gonna see me on Twitter rooting, roasting the Blazers for the mistakes they make, rooting for them, all that type of stuff. I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for my guy Dame. So at the end of the day, again, like I said, this is what elite looks like. I appreciate y'all. This bubble is definitely gonna have a serious impact on a lot of these things. Just be ready to expect the unexpected. Big brother quote. Expect the unexpected, because when I'm showing you with this bubble, some mans are in for a rude awakening, because you're gonna see the confidence mans have. Like, role players are gonna be playing good or solid at almost basically every game. There's no, we know how the role players play good only at the home, etc., and all that type of stuff. Like, this is what elite looks like, man, when I'm telling you. So again, share, like, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We out here. There's no doubt here, and there's no drought here. You feel me? Thank you for coming for that IQ, because that's what I do. Like I said, tell a friend. We here. The games are coming in just full the whole day. Like, it's just elite. Man, I'm excited, man. The bubble has definitely been good. And let's get into this. Let's get into this shit, man. The nitty gritty. Oh my goodness. Oh, we lady. Let's go, man. Bruh. That's what elite looks like, man. Anyways, like I said, it's True Talks, because True Talks. And I'm out, man.